party people. Welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host as always, Jeff Stormer. This week on the show, I'm joined by Theodore Monk for a game of Blood -- Rush. Blood Rush, spelled of course Blood -- Rush, is a fighting game TTRPG for 2 or 3 players using a deck of cards as a trick-taking game. You play the game as a series of rounds in the tournament, moving through characters and exploring the epic highs and lows of combat sport. Now, you may or may not know this about me, but I love fighting games. Fighting games are about the only video game that I've consistently loved my entire life. And what makes this game so cool is that it's one of the few games that I've ever played in the tabletop space that really captures the kind of fun, frenetic, tactical energy of playing a fighting game in a way that feels organic and fresh and tailored to the medium of tabletop role-playing games. It's something really special. I don't really know how else to describe it. This game is genuinely something special, and I really think you're going to love listening to us play it because we had an absolute blast with it. Now, something that I do want to shout out before we dive in is that this game was designed by friend of the show, past guest, and incredible designer Kayla Dice, who you've heard previously play Transgender Deathmatch Legend with me. And Kayla, at this exact moment, has a brand new game funding on Kickstarter, which you can go back right now, Psycho Dungeon. Psycho Dungeon is a fantasy workplace action drama played with no dice and no masters. It is a tabletop role-playing game set in a world of mobile phones and magic spells, mass transit and malevolent demons, the supernatural intermingled with the everyday. It is a strange world, but one that is all too familiar. It is a world in which when a person's trauma hits their breaking point, it manifests as a psycho dungeon full of monstrous nightmares. You play a group of plumbers called in to clean out those dungeons and close them off. It is difficult and dangerous work, but, you know, it's a living. Like I said, Kayla's one of my favorite designers, and the pitch of this game is absolutely phenomenal. I really hope that you'll check it out. You can find a link to Psycho Dungeon, as well as a link to Blood Rush in the show notes. Theo is a writer and voice actor. You can hear his work in a million different places, a bunch of different shows, including Champs in the Making, Dice Friends, The Hyperfixation, additional postage required, as well as something that I will shout out from the rooftops, which is the Moonshot table read of Piranha 3D, in which Theo gave really the performance of the century. You can find a link to all of the things that he is working on his website at theodoremonk.com, or you can check the show notes for more information. And with all that said, let's go ahead and throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. I am so excited to be sitting down with Theodore Monk. Theodore, thank you so much for coming on Party of One.
Of course, thank you for having me on, and unfortunately, thanks to your timey-wimey business right there, you're actually talking to future Theo, who knows how this is all going to turn out, so you're going to have to play your game especially well today.
Well, shit. All right, well, that didn't it? You know what? I understand this. That's the nature of the game. It's the nature of playing. I appreciate the pro-level gambit. It's a powerful move. Real quick, at the top of the episode, why don't you let our lovely listeners at home know about anything you've got going on that you might want the audience at home to know about?
Of course. You can find me across the internet as a podcaster and a writer. I've been on some Moonshot productions, a few guest spots of The Hyperfixation and Champs in the Making. I was also Balth Pharaoh and additional postage required, which was a lot of fun. I'm also do a bunch of guest spots in other places, like I mentioned, writing, querying, my first novel right now, and you can find all my stuff, if any of this piques your interest, on my website, just my name, www.theodoremonk.com, but skipping ahead to all the socials, we're here for one reason. We're not here for social media, we're here for one reason, isn't that right, Jeff?
That is correct. We are here to do battle, in the grandest stage of them all. We are playing Blood Rush, or more accurately, Blood -- Rush, as it is listed in the file, which is a thematic touch that I deeply love. Blood Rush is a game about fighting game tournaments. Every 90 years, the orbit of Enyo's comet casts a bloody shadow on the Earth. The greatest warriors all over the world can empower themselves with dangerous elements. The shadow has been cast once again. L. Redbreaker has invited you to the Blood Rush tournament, held on their mysterious private island. The prize of victory would be life-changing. Get ready to battle.
And I am so ready to battle. Again, I'm genuinely really excited for this, because I know you sometimes get people on who design their own tabletops. I have not. This is not obviously one of mine, in case there's any confusion. But this is one that when you were listing potential options, I leapt onto immediately, because I'm not very good at fighting games. It doesn't come from fighting games, more from anime. Just that whole tournament arc thing.
Sure.
It's one of my favorite things. It's just so good.
I mean, I am bad at fighting games, but fighting games are specifically a love language of mine, and I'm very, very excited to like get into this. I have been making fighting game characters. I have a running list of them that I've just been building out all day.
Oh, I've been playing the exact same game like in the last few weeks of just like having get characters in reserve to pull out if I need to.
I've got my list. I'm ready to go.
Excellent.
So let's go ahead and dive in. So this is a fighting game TTRPG for 2 to 3 players. We both have a deck of cards in front of us. It is a trick-taking game that we narrate the rounds of a fighting tournament by playing rounds of a trick-taking card game, and then we play out the tournament to gain the power of this mysterious, this mysterious comet's energy that will grant our every wish. We are going to create our fighters. We are going to set the stage, and then we are going to do battle.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm here for. You know, although I guess before we get started, do we have a thing? Because I have a thing for the playing cards if you don't have one, Prep.
I have a physical deck of cards in front of me, so whatever means of drawing cards, if it's digital or physical. Oh wait, do we have to draw from the same deck, or is it each?
It's from the same deck. That is,
well then
yes.
Like
yeah.
Then send me that link. I was under the impression that we each had our own deck, but this makes more sense as a sensible option that does not require you to carry your own deck of cards like a 50s gangster.
Yeah, no, and I had cards as well, but that was, I like read it and I was like, oh, we have to be drawing from the same deck. That's going to be a little tricky because the alternative is like you turning on your camera and like setting them all out on your desk, or otherwise me having to like, I have to ask you what my hand is. And you have to pretend not to know. It's like, oof, man, you drew all the 2s and 3s. Sucks for you.
Sorry, your hand sucks. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah.
All right, let me hop into the playing cards IO room.
Yep, I set up a thing for
Perfect. We are ready to go. All right. So we have a few questions to answer about the setting before we create our character. Before we introduce our characters, there are fighter creation rules, which I may fall back on at various points, but I've also got a roster already made up. So we do have some questions about the world that I want to kind of establish. Just as like big, broad, thematic things for us to kind of lean on. What rumors have people heard about El Redbreaker?
Ooh, see, I think, okay, so see, when I hear the name El Redbreaker, the image that comes to mind for me is, did you ever play Saints Row the Third?
I have watched people play Saints Row the Third.
Do you remember the dude who was like the green-suited luchador? Like he had like the big business suit. I picture that, but color shifted to red. That is what the name. So I picture like this dude who's like a famed martial artist and businessman, a little bit like Heihachi Mishima from Tekken, but with the luchador theming instead. So I figure that's like, he was this big like combat sports fighter, dominated all the circuits, and then turned that into like a big business empire, and then kind of disappeared for a while.
I gotta have shoulder pads on the business suit is what I gotta have. Like, specifically like metal military epaulets on the shoulders of the suit. Like, that's the detail that I'm adding to this.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
It's like a cross between a regular business suit, but also like the armor from like Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly
random bits of bulletproof like squad armor.
Exactly that. That is precisely what this is. I think that the other set of rumors, I mean, I gotta put in the obvious that like I'm gonna say that El Redbreaker comes from like pulling on the mask as an idea and also bringing some supernatural into this, comes from like a line of masked warriors.
Okay.
And specifically, but like photos of them look such in a way that there is a great deal of speculation about like if it is truly a family legacy or if it's the same guy.
Okay. Actually, no, I really like that. I like that as like an element. Yeah. That like I like that as an element of his backstory. That like that's what kind of people are whispering about, whether it is truly like whether it's an immortal warrior or a line of top tier warriors, and which one is less scary.
Yeah. So what do we know about Enyo's comet?
It happens every 90 years. So done. No, I think. Oh, I took it first last time. You lead the way on this one.
I love the idea. If this comet casts shadow over the earth and specifically like empowers people, I'm going to make it explicit and say that like every 90 years, this comet flies overhead and there is like a week where all of the laws of nature get fucky.
Ooh.
Like,
okay.
it is just like stuff gets, and maybe it's not something that you explicitly, maybe it's not quite noticeable. Like, it's like very subtle, almost imperceptible things, but like, it's that tidal, it's like the full moon tide effect, but like to the highest degree possible. Like, it is a time of intense weather patterns and strange supernatural phenomena, and like things are just thrown off of their axis for a week when this comet flies overhead.
I gotcha. And see, I think what I'm going to add on top of that, because I like that, what I'm going to add on top of that is this is one of those things that is not actually publicly acknowledged. Like it is just people like L. Redbreaker and or like the sorts of people who like walk in these sort of underground circles, or like or on the other opposite end of the spectrum, like high up government officials that know about Enyo's comet and like what it does, and for everyone else it's like all of the weird things you just described, they are all in isolation enough that like they could like those be like some news story like we had a strange polar cyclone take place in the Gulf today that like I don't know caused all the water to freeze in the Gulf of Mexico. Like it's just they're all treated as isolated weird like incidents. But there are people including L. Redbreaker who know the real cause, and that is Enyo's comet.
That's sick. So why do we think L. Redbreaker, why do people, I should say, because we'll find this out in play, why do people think L. Redbreaker is hosting this tournament?
I think there are rumors. So we talked about like that this might be a line of warriors. I think there are rumors that this tournament is to find his successor. He has not said that, but there's whispers around that like that is the cause of the tournament, that he's trying to find who will take over his title and his empire.
Okay. And then the final two questions, why couldn't they have this tournament without you, and how were you convinced this invitation was legitimate? I think I want to leave in the hands of the individual characters that we create.
I was thinking the same thing.
So, we have arrived at the first round of the tournament. We are in the lavish island estate of El Redbreaker. Across this island, there are fighting rings. What we are going to do for each stage is there are a list of elements of the island, which I will read out right now. Volcano, polar vortex, dangerous storm, high-tech stadium, old temple, sanctuary, ruins, jungle, desert, stone beach, strange statue, the festival, the mist construction yard. I think it's the mist construction yard, cemetery.
No, it's the construction yard from the Mist from Frank Darabont.
Yep, that's the one. The Mist, Construction Yard, Cemetery, The Beautiful Garden, Cocktail Bar, Throne Room, Port, Portal, and Stage. We are each going to choose one of these elements ourselves. For each level, each fight we have, we're each going to choose one of these elements, and then once we reveal them, we'll choose the third element to build the stage.
That sounds perfect to me.
So, before we meet our characters, let's each figure out where, like, let's follow the camera, find where the first stage is, and then we'll introduce our fighters and get to know our first battle.
That works for me.
All right. I got mine.
I got mine as well, and I also have a backup just in case you pick the same thing.
If we pick the same thing, it might just be that it's doubly that one thing. All right. What did you pick? I'm going with strange statue.
I'm going with the festival, and I have a reason why.
Okay, the festival. The festival, a strange statue, and I am going... What do we think the third thing is?
That's a good question. I think it could be... maybe jungle. Like maybe this is like the outer reaches of his island.
That feels good. That feels good. Yeah, this is like on the outskirts of the island. There are thick trees. These very sort of elaborate statues of like big. I'm picturing very almost Joel Schumacher, Batman and Robin statues, very kind of like gothic figures holding out hands and stuff for people to climb on, and there is like a festival running throughout.
Mm-hmm. And the reason I went with festival is one, I think it makes sense that like we're assuming this is like the first night of the tournament. There's like something of, people celebrating all of the fighters, but I think we want to ramp up the craziness even further, combining that with like these weird sort of gothic strange statues. What if El Redbreaker, either accidentally or on purpose, has started a church of like worshippers of Enyo's comet?
Yeah, that feels right. That feels extremely right.
Yeah, so that's like the background of the stage is all these people like celebrating and almost in this like in this very exuberant fashion the arrival of their prophesied comet.
That feels great. I like that. I love that energy. And like the vibe is Blade Vampire Rave. It is flashing green lights.
Absolutely.
It is people dancing. That is the vibe, I think, is the energy that I want to bring. And so with that, it's time for us to introduce our fighters. Would you like to go first, or should I?
So I would be interested in doing it the way the game suggests, which is to draw like the cards for these tables. Because there are 4 tables that they have in the fighter creation section. They've got style, alleged motivation, reputation, and mastered element, with like each suit providing a prompt. And I kind of want to play. You don't have to play with that, but I want to play with that.
I'm gonna build this out because I've got my roster and I want to see what I land on.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna draw 4.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to go from left to right on the thing. All right, so I've got Spades first, Brawler, who is here for glory. Their reputation is cold, and their mastered element is Ichor. Ooh, okay. Or Icor, whatever. They're
so
both.
I am pulling. I've got my style is Beast. My motivation is Revenge. My reputation is Fiery, and my mastered element is Ice.
Hmm.
I mean, I know exactly what I gotta go with, but I hesitant. You know what? There is a long history in fighting games of characters just being barely noticeable palette swaps of one another. That feels like it's the right move.
I think that works. So do you want to start with... Sorry. Did you say you were starting with yours, or...?
Yeah, we can start with mine. No, I'm going to slightly reflavor mine. I was originally just going to be the Sasquatch from Darkstalkers. Like, originally, it was truly just going to be the Sasquatch from... But I think what I'm actually going to do is stick with the Darkstalkers theme, go out the gate at 100, and say that if I am a beast looking for revenge, with a fiery style and a mastery of ice...
Are you a Yeti?
I was thinking about being a Yeti, but I think I got a better option. They couldn't have this tournament without me because this is a tournament celebrating beings without equal. And what being is more without equal than he who is crafted of the flesh of the dead, than the frozen hand of my traitorous father, Adam Frankenstein, Lord of life and death. I am convinced this invitation was legitimate because I was frozen out of an Arctic glacier, or I was unfrozen out of an Arctic glacier and brought to this island to fight for the power of the comet, to grant me a chance to travel back in time and wring the neck of the man that brought me to life and left me to rot in the frozen wastes.
You're fucking Frankenstein's monster?
Frankenstein's monster. Adam Frankenstein, specifically.
First, I do appreciate that you call him Adam. That I like respect for the text.
You know, we're a legitimate podcast here.
Exactly. No, I mean, hey, personally, I always refer to him as the demon because that sounds cooler, and it's also what the book calls him.
That does sound cooler, but I feel like Adam Frankenstein is a great fighting game character name.
No, it is. It's absolutely great. Meanwhile, on my end, see, I am going to. This is thankfully a character I'd also thought of before. I'm going to take a very liberal interpretation of Iker. I am going to be Wrench Allen, Brawler Mechanic.
Great.
I am Wrench Allen. I'm just this big, I'm this big buff dude dressed in like a 1920s not greaser, but mechanic getup of the flat cap. You know, this big kind of open low, but the shirt's got 3 buttons
overalls
open
with a strap open. Sure.
Exactly, and I'm just covered in engine grease, and that's the Iker. And I'm just
good.
I'm this dude who's here to save his father's auto shop. And one day, I've been supporting it by fighting underground in the LA street racing scene, as we know, famous for its fights. And then, but the money wasn't enough, and they were finally going to foreclose on the shop when, what's this? An invitation in our mailbox to El Redbreaker's festival for Enyo's Comet. I don't know what this is, but it's got however many $1 million of prize money. This is my one chance to save my dad's shop. And so I'm here, and I'm walking into the stage, cracking my knuckles, snapping my neck both ways. And I just look up, I'm like, is that fucking Frankenstein's monster?
And I think Frankenstein's monster is the resident monster of the game, is the Hugo. The Sentinel is the large character. So I do picture that I am towering.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to say that I'm more towering than you, but I was thinking about, I think my character is especially huge and strong, and that inhuman strength comes from his father's shop is so in debt that they can't afford half of their equipment, and so instead of jacks, he's just having to lift the car with one arm at all times while working on it. He's picking up engine blocks and dropping them in on his own.
Hoss battle immediately. This feels great.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're dealing with.
All right. Well, then with that, the part, the festival, the rave is raging, and the fight is underway, which means that we are going to flip our first card for our motif.
Oh, shit, we should probably put our stuff back in shuffle as well.
Oh, yes, right. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Flip stack. We'll shuffle stack.
It might bring that card back in, but... Oh,
that's fine.
Yeah,
our motif is fire. And I think I know exactly how that motif breaks out. I think that the second that the fight is declared, this rave turns into a riot. This is bloodlust is what this is. A blood rush, if you could say.
Perfect, Jeff. Do you think El Redbreaker is present at this match?
I think that we see in the background of a lot of the stages, there is a skyscraper that is his palatial fortress. Mm-hmm. And you see a glint of red periodically flash in one of the windows. That's oh, that's El Redbreaker. Yeah,
and if I can hop onto that as well, I think it is that if this was a movie, we'd get the camera shot in his room. It would just be pure silhouettes because there's no lights on in there, but there's all the lights from far away and down below. And so we see the glints of his suit. We also see the traditional bad guy puffs of a cigar. He sees that the match is starting and just
all right,
it's begun.
So with that, we each draw 9 cards.
Mm-hmm. One. Oh, do you want the left or the right thing here?
I'll take the right.
Beautiful.
5.
We got that card. There we are.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Also, I failed to kind of answer the one question on mine of why couldn't this tournament happen without you. I think the short answer is because of just how ungodly strong my character is in the LA underground street fighting. See, he just quietly has been dominating it, and
it wouldn't be seen as legitimate without the toughest man in LA.
Exactly, yeah.
Also,
maybe my character looks like Vin Diesel. Who knows?
That's great. We've got our hands of 9 cards. We've revealed the top card of the deck, which is the motif suite. The motif being fire, the suite or the suit being diamonds, the motif being fire. The way that this works is our starting player puts down a card that matches the motif suite. The opposing player must play another card in the same suite. The key, we have a key here to explain like what the numbers, what move is represented by the different number cards. This also explains bonuses that trump cards give. And then the highest card wins. We claim both cards in the pile, and then we go until we've run out of cards. If you can't play something in the same suit, then it is assumed that you have lost that hand.
Mm-hmm. How do we want to play it if both people play outside the suit or play outside the motif?
If either player can't match the suit, if both players, then I think what we'll do is we'll each discard, because you have to draw a new motif whenever one player can't match the suit. Mm-hmm. So if we both can't match, then that trick will be a draw. We'll discard those cards off to the side, and we'll just draw a new motif.
Gotcha. That works.
So we start off with a motif of fire. The suit is diamonds. There is a brawl happening. People want blood. Which one of us does it dictate? Which one of us?
It doesn't say which one of us goes
all
first.
Right. In that case, I will say, when is the last time you played a fighting game? Or watched a tournament anime?
Dude, literally a few days ago. Like, literally, just the other night, I rewatched a little bit of okay, so I mentioned I didn't get into tournament arcs because of fighting games. I got into tournament arcs because of one specific show, and it is Kengan Ashura, where it has now become my favorite genre of, like, screw any setup to the tournament arc. We are just getting right into it. And so yeah, I just watched a few episodes of that the other night.
All right. Well, in that case, I believe you are the starting character, and I'll have you play a diamond.
All right. And you want me to go ahead and reveal it?
Yeah, go ahead and reveal it.
All right. Shazam!
Oh my God! It is a king that is an axe kick.
Yep.
So this is a crucial thing in fighting games. Is like the move that is labeled axe kick is going to look different for different characters. So like, when we say like, what is the axe kick command for Wrench look like?
Oh, do you mean like how it comes across, or how complicated is it to pull
like
off?
what is the look of it on screen?
So I think it is. It only barely qualifies as an axe kick. It's closer to a stomp. I think it is just that he goes up so high with his just massive tree trunk leg, and then just immediately comes down with it toward you.
So I am throwing down I'm throwing down my 3 of diamonds, which is a low kick. You have caught me with the axe kick. You have won the trick, so take both of those cards, and then you, as the winner of that round, will start the next trick. Or the next trick.
Dude, also really quickly, does your leg like pop off when I counter it?
Fully does. They are using Frankenstein as the excuse to get really gory and violent. Like, this is the character that the violence dial is turned all the way up on, so it's a lot of like limbs pop off and then get reattached very quickly.
Oh, that's so perfect. Yeah, that definitely like Wrench like stomps it off, and then he looks at you like kind of hopping on your one leg and looks down, looks back up. He's like, what the hell kind of tournament is this? Like, Wrench Allen is at least so far, like, the token normal. Like, yeah. He's just a really good Street Fighter. This is already way beyond his pay grade. And so I think he follows up. Let me see here. I think I will, okay, so actually, quick point of order. Is there any penalty if we choose to play out of suite? Like, can we deliberately save a current suite card for if the motif suite ever comes back?
There is no penalty for doing that, other than that you are guaranteeing that you are losing this suite and that we are drawing a new motif.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just checking. You know, like in that case, then I think, I'm just going to. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I gotta play the best card I've got.
I have thrown down. So you have thrown down the 6. You are going for a spinning elbow, and I have countered it with a high knee.
Yeah, no, I think I'm like coming in with like I think his spinning elbow is a true spinning elbow of like he just starts doing a spinning clothesline but like with his arms slightly bent and he's just coming toward you and then you and then however you counter.
Inexplicable steampunk jump jets on my feet, kick me into the air, and throw both of my knees into your face.
Separately from your body, or?
They are you know where Namor's little wings are on his feet? It's
right.
that, but for little, like, inexplicable steampunk jump jets.
That's really good. Yeah, it's like his idea that, I'm coming in like, I just don't even know what to do, so I'm like, see how you handle this. And it's just the sound of like a gunshot as your rockets kick in and just send me fly. Like, it's the sort of impact where there's a crater in my face till like I stand back up and like adjust my nose.
We draw a new motif, and that motif is hearts. Hearts are the motif of heat. I think that the initial chaos has died down, and that now all eyes are on us because the fight is fully underway. We have both been bloodied. We have both been beaten. Now the fight is thoroughly underway.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like, now, this is where, like, the murmurs have started to die down as everyone gets enraptured in the fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, you won that trick, so I think you gotta lead this one.
All right, I'm going to throw down my king. I'm going to throw down my axe kick, which,
Please don't tell me it's an actual axe!
Oh, fuck it, really, it's gotta be. It is a throw, like, it is the axe weapon from Castlevania. So it's got the big flying arc.
I like how this started as Adam Frankenstein and rapidly became Inspector Gadget.
Yeah. It's the way that if you're gonna put Frankenstein in a fighting game, this is the general vibe.
No, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. That was not a complaint, sir. In that case, though, I'm just gonna have to answer with a weak-ass fast elbow.
All right, yeah. The axe. I'm gonna say the axe, like, you crawl up just in time to see the axe coming down. It doesn't split your head open because you narrowly roll out of the way, but you are at a clear moment of disadvantage of, oh shit, I think Frankenstein is gonna try to murder me.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Wrench is like looking at the referee like, is that allowed? Is that okay?
Referee in full professional wrestling referee's gear just gives you a shrug, like,
he's got like lays and a tiki glass in his hand. He's like, yeah,
it's fine.
I'm like, I don't even know why I'm here. Also, you can cut those slurps. Sorry, I realize it's gross mouth noises.
Our next motif, we stay in heat.
Damn it. I mean, then yeah, I guess this is Frankenstein's still got the advantage, so you lead the way on this one.
All right. Let me look at my trump card effects here real quick. Okay, I am going to do a little bit of a gambit here. I'm going to throw down the ace, which is the lowest card. Aces are low here, but that does give me the ability to redraw one card, which I'm going to do right now.
That means you put one card back in the deck and draw, right?
I think you're right. Yeah, you are correct. I think that is right. I think that is a good read. So I am going to put down this card and I am going to shuffle the stack.
That works for me. In that case, then yeah. So you're playing the ace. I'm going to counter that with a haymaker.
Damn.
Yeah, I think I know exactly how this happens.
I think that I'm going to say you are on your back still, and I am bringing, like, the ace is a jab, so I am bringing the fist down, down to try and smash you in the nose. What does that haymaker look like?
So I am once again taking a liberal interpretation of what the game is, the words the game uses. And I think the counter here is after he was conferred with the ref that none of this is against the rules, I think he's very quick to be like, oh, okay, rolls out of the way, gets up on one knee, reaches behind him, and then Looney Tunes style wangs you with a massive, massive wrench.
Right.
And that is it is a full draw from behind, just gong, and knocks you back the other way in the stage.
That feels great. Great.
Now, this is how I even the odds.
The hand is yours. Or the trick is yours.
Yes, it is, and I don't want it to be. Oh no. Shit. I'm just gonna do an 8 of spades.
And I am going to throw down my 3 of hearts
Which automatically takes it.
A low kick. You catch me in the face. Like the extending neck guy from Masters of the Universe, like my whole spine kind of like ratchets out the neck.
Oh my
Slingshot's back in, and I am going, and I think like it's that one really long kick from fighting games where the guy like leans back and kind of like kicks forward.
Like a Dalsim kick.
Yeah, it's like a Dalsim kick, just like stretches out obscenely far and catches you right in the chest, pushing you right back through another wall.
Oh, that's rough.
And I
think that's another motif, right? Because I had to play one that wasn't.
Oh, you are correct. You are correct. Our new motif, still heat.
Thanks,
That's
game.
it's not great for me, so I'm gonna have to make a play here. I'm gonna throw a jab. I've got the ace of clubs. I'm gonna throw a jab. It's gonna lose me the round, but I'm gonna get to draw a card here.
See, I am going to I'm gonna honor you and turn this into a pummel duel.
Great. I like that. I like that this just turns into just us just wailing on one another. Just it's the Dragon Ball Z fist punch blur montage for a moment. And which card do I want to try and redraw?
I've already got my answer, so I'm gonna I put it in the deck and then click that number, right?
Yep, and then shuffle.
That
all right.
works.
Yep. So this gets put to the side, which means discard. So which means it's our time for our next motif. It is clubs. Should I go first since that was a draw?
Sure. Yeah. You I think you keeping momentum makes sense.
All right. Well, then I'm throwing down the king of clubs.
Oh, this sucks for me. Oh, this is not good for me. Interesting. Sorry, my wall decorations just fell down. I'm going to answer with a 3 of spades.
All right, which means a new motif gets drawn for our last hand of the fight. I do take this, which means I take this, and in this instance, I think that we are bashing each other, and finally, I come down. I think I jump jets fire up, and I do a drop kick, but the jump jets erupt so that my feet catch on fire, so you get a flaming drop kick.
Yeah. Also, no, it's not the last. No, first off, that's great. But no, it's not the last round yet. I've got 2 cards left, right?
Oh, why do I only have 1 card left? I may have grabbed 8 and not. All right, I'm just gonna draw 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because we can still tie this, which is hilarious.
It's really funny.
Listen, I'm not done yet. You haven't taken out Wrench Allen yet. Hit me.
Is back to hearts.
Cool. Thanks, game.
Great, love that. Okay. I've got to play. I gotta throw this down here because I'm not gonna have a chance to use it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm throwing down the 2 of diamonds, which is a loss, but is going to allow me to go first next time. So I have a chance of taking this.
Oh, but I think you've already got it because I'm playing a 10 of spades, high knee.
I think I want to see what the next motif here is. It is spades, and spades as a motif is shine. I think that this is great. You're in a building. I've kicked you through a wall. Or I punched you through a wall. I gave you a drop kick. My feet were on fire, but you're also covered in grease, which means that there's a moment where you're set on fire. It gets extinguished, but now we're fighting specifically in a burning building.
And I think since I'm definitely on the losing end of this, I think we get the moment where my character starts having their flashbacks. We follow the rule where the losing fighter gets their flashback first. Where I'm remembering growing up with my dad. I'm like, Pa, I promised I would win this tournament for you and save the shop. After Mom died, the shop was all we had. So I can't lose this. I can't lose this. And it's just the 2 of us beating the shit out of each other. But I'm clearly I'm not carrying it through, but I'm not giving up either.
That's great. That's fantastic. And so I All right, so we have one hand left, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to throw down the 8 of diamonds, which is technically a loss here.
But I've got the Jack of Clubs, which is a jumping elbow that would normally draw a new motif suite after this trick.
Yeah, so like I like that we kind of that means what that tells me is that this fight ends in maybe like the equivalent of a timeout where we just throwing haymakers until like we just collapse in a heap and then Frankenstein gets up.
Oh yeah, no, I like this. Yeah, no, I like that. I like the idea that it's just the two of us throwing each other through walls until finally we have fought our way through this burning building back into the ring. We're both like off the second story, collapsed on the ground, and the ref is like prepared to call it a no contest before Frankenstein just finally rises again.
And so we are going to shuffle all of our cards back into the deck.
Yeah, Alan Wrench is knocked out of the tournament. Damn.
Adam Frankenstein advances to the next round of the tournament, and we meet our next fighter. Where does our... So hold on, we got to decide where our next fight happens.
Oh, you're damn right.
All right, I have my option.
And I think I have my option.
I am going with construction yard.
I was going to go with cemetery, and I want to see how we mix these.
Cemetery was my backup option. It's got to be, how do you mix?
Okay, so I'm going to make two suggestions. Please. One, that first off, the reason we're here is this is one of those fights that is not technically part of the tournament, but is that like that always that thing in like fighting game story modes or like actual tournament arcs where there is like a fight outside of the competition, and in this case, it is someone who like slipped a note under Adam Frankenstein's door and like saying like meet me at the cemetery.
That's great.
And the reason it is a cemetery / construction yard is I think El Redbreaker is exhuming the graves of all of his ancestors, the ancestral Redbreaker plot, or maybe they're his ancestors, maybe it's a diversion, whatever. But like is trying to build like a new facility on this site.
That feels great. Like so that I am going to throw in the third option here as high-tech stadium. There are like
that's
remnants of like a secret research lab, and Adam Frankenstein has been drawn here by his opponent. Who is Adam Frankenstein's opponent?
All right, so I did draw my cards again. I've got a heart, a spade, clubs, and clubs. So heart is a dancer. Oh, next is spade. That is going to be my legend motivation. Money, which I was not expecting, is throwing off my immediate idea, but we'll survive. Next, I've got clubs, gentle, and iron. Okay, let me look up something. Actually, no, I'll ask you the question since you know the Frankenstein lore. Who was the girl that Dr. Frankenstein was gonna marry?
Oh God, I have to.
Was it Elizabeth?
I think it's Elizabeth.
Yeah, I think my character is famed bounty hunter Lizzie, who is a descendant of the first off, I know we were violating the Frankenstein lore, so sorry, book nerds, but we're doing the fighting game thing of not giving a shit. I think I am Elizabeth she was part of the family, so I'm gonna say Elizabeth Frankenstein the Third.
That's great. Gotta have the third.
Exactly, yeah. And so I left that note under your door. You approach into the cemetery, and from behind you is like, I'll be honest, I didn't think I was ever gonna find you. And you turn around like, yeah, this woman in like a big like Columbo-style trench coat and like a big floppy fedora like steps out from behind a decrepit oak tree that for some reason is in the middle of this big futuristic stadium. And she's got like a loose tie. And, she's smoking, just, like, really lazily smoking a cigarette, like...
Great.
So I guess you got my note, huh?
And I think, Frankenstein, like, rears back, does the arm twist stretch, I guess the guile taunt, where he does the arm circle. It's like, you know how to send a message. Unfortunately for you, so do I, and rushes headlong into battle.
Oh, and I think she absolutely, she just, like, sighs, tosses her hat up into the tree, and is prepared to meet you.
I've drawn my 9 cards, if you want to do the same.
Oh, yes, one second. Shazam. And yeah, my alleged motivation is money because of the bounty hunter, but I think she specifically, upon finding that you have entered this tournament, she now wants to kill Frankenstein out of
Sure,
revenge.
of course. I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got our cards. Let's flip the motif, and that is hearts. That is heat. This feels right. This is heat in the emotional sense, in that this is personal. Mm-hmm. This is a blood feud between people with a long history of hating one another.
Absolutely. Okay, so who do you want to start?
I have to do a thing, though.
I just realized, yes, you do.
I have to discard. I am going to stack up all of my cards. I'm going to flip them all face down.
Yeah, because you won divide by 2. You won 4 tricks,
I won 4 tricks, which means that I have to discard and redraw 5 of my cards. I am counting ties in this, in terms of, like, I did not win that. Or do we want to say ties don't count?
That's fair. All right,
then I'm going to shuffle this. We're going to discard 5. Oh, I really wish I kept that jack. I'm going to draw these back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
I mean, if you won last time, so okay. I think in the strictest reading, you would have to start.
In that case, I got to throw down the card that I got to throw down, and that is the 2, which means I'm at least going to start. The 2 is the hook. I'm throwing a hook, and I am at least going to start next round. Start the next trick, regardless of whether I win or lose. But it's not feeling great, and I think in this case it is. A running lariat is, I think, Frankenstein's hook animation is just like it is his rush attack, and it is a running clothesline.
Gotcha. And so I think to be in line with the fact my character's style is dancer, I think I'm gonna answer with a spinning elbow, and also to loop in my element of iron. I think how it looks is you come in with your lariat, and like time kind of slows down for a second as she counters, but like. The one hand, she kind of parries you and then like very gracefully spins and then elbows you in the sternum to the sound of a shotgun blast. And as you like, you step away and you suddenly got this hole. Like, you're still fine. You're Frankenstein. Like, now there's just all this buckshot in your chest, looks back, and there's like a ragged hole in her elbow. And it's like she sort of flexes her arms, and you hear the sound of a bunch of guns cocking. Great. It's like, I prepared for this day, you ugly idiot. I didn't prepare insults. I maybe should have. That's
great. I like that a lot. So I do start the next suite, and I am going to. I'm going to lose this, but I'm going to throw down my ace of clubs so that I can redraw a card.
Let me see something here. Do I have? Okay, so I've got one that might. Okay, this kind of gives away one of the cards I can play, but. Important clarification on one of the moves. So the one for a twisting kick for a queen is opponent must play their highest card or a matching 2. Since queens can be played in reply, would we say that kicks in for the following round?
I think that. Or how
would we say
that? I think that works.
Gotcha. In that case, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm playing a queen of hearts. Okay. Which is a twisting kick.
Which means next turn I must play my highest card or a matching 2. Okay.
And yeah, I think there's another one where like you kind of come in with like a big Frankenstein-ly jab, and meanwhile, I this time just to flex on you, I parry with my one leg, land on it, and then spin into like a kick into your sternum. That feels great. But and there's another shotgun blast. It's like, and when I pull back my leg once again, the sound of guns cocking as I like swing it back.
That feels great. That feels fantastic.
Oh, did you redraw your card?
I did. I did redraw my card.
Beautiful.
All right, which means
so we both should have 7. I think.
Which means we come to our next a king. Which means that our new motif is hope.
Oh yeah, I think. I think this one may be just Lizzie's hope that like she's finally found the demon that like has haunted her family for years, or at least that she's been searching for years.
Yeah.
And the battle is already in her favor.
That feels good. All right. Then with that case, I have to play my highest card right now,
or a matching 2,
which is the Queen of Clubs, which is a twisting kick, which means now your next card must be your highest card or a matching 2.
We assume a highest card within the suite, right?
I would say highest card within the suite. My belief of the hierarchy is highest card within the suite, highest losing card or a matching 2.
Gotcha. In that case, I am forced to play my 7 of clubs.
That feels great.
Which is a haymaker.
And so this is a twisting kick. This is I think like stumbles back, rushes at you, jumps into, jump jet fires off, jumps into the air, sticks out one leg and kind of does the Chun-Li flying spin kick, but my legs rotate in the full 360 like an action figure, and you kind of hear like crunching bone noises to ramp up that horror.
See, if I can make a slight amendment, I think instead of this being right off my last move, I think my jabs manifest as like Lizzie's starting to get kind of cocky. So she's come in, she's hitting you with like lightning rapid like jabs and like toe kicks, like, and a bunch of shots going off. The holes are peppering, but it's just you're no-selling it, and that's when you finally just respond with the devastating spinning kick and just absolutely like send me flying across. I send tombstone. I make tombstones go flying when you send me across the cemetery.
100%.
Yeah.
And so, which means that we are still in the suit of clubs. It is my move, and I am throwing down the 5 of clubs, which is a cross punch. Exchange a card with the motif suite. And I am going to... Okay, this feels good.
Should we resolve that after we do this now?
Yes, I think that we resolve it after. I think that feels right.
Gotcha. In that case, I am going to just eat this one.
Okay.
I'm going to play an ace of spades, which I think it'll be fair. I'll redraw after we exchange.
That feels good.
Since you played... Yeah.
That feels good. That feels great. And how this looks is... his cross punch is a grab. I grab your face, pick you up, and slam you into some gravestones.
Oh my god, yeah. Like I'm trying just like weakly like hit at you. I'm once again trying to just rush in and just demolish you. And yeah, you're not taking any of that. It is a hell of a no sell.
And I am going to exchange with this, which means I'm going to take the King of Clubs, and I'm going to place down the 4 of spades, which shifts the motif to shine, and I think that this is righteous vengeance. But that also means because you threw down the ace, we are also going to draw a new one altogether.
Right, and I also have to do my card real quick.
Yes, you got to discard and redraw.
Wait, so which one am I? Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that one. We discard not back in the deck, right?
I candidly, I put mine back in the deck and drew the same card after shuffling it, so I think into the discard pile is the better move.
That works for me. All right. So I think we're drawing a new motif now?
Yes.
All right. Draw me the motif.
All right, our new motif is diamonds. It is fire. I think that I'm doing the like kind of the Hulk Loki smash a little bit. Like I've grabbed you and I'm smashing you into things. I smash you into like a computer display because this is also a secret lab. And once again, the stage has gone on fire. They've really animated a lot of these levels to catch fire.
Oh no, I really like that. And I think there might even before like we engage in like the next round, there's even a moment where I try to do like the Frankenstein moment of picking up the torch and waving at you, and you just grab it and like snap it in my hand.
That's great.
You're showing you're not afraid of fire like I thought.
That feels
like
good.
My plan is collapsing. This is pure panic mode for Lizzie right now.
That feels great. It is my draw, and I'm gonna throw down the 2 of diamonds, which means that I will start the next trick even if I lose.
Okay. And I am going to respond with the 9 of diamonds, which is a spinning back fist.
Okay.
So yeah, how do you think this one goes?
So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because I think that the aesthetic of you strike me in the face with a torch is very good, and
Ooh, that's fair.
like that is such a good desperation thing that I think it squarely knocks Frankenstein on his ass.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's like you come in with the hook and like spinning. I think how I do it is you come in with the hook and I like spinning have to dodge it, and as I turn my back to you, I in the same instant as I realize what's behind me, my hand reaches down. I grab like a flaming bit of construction material, and I come back, my legs twisting, and wham! Yeah, I just catch you right in the jaw with this torch. And that just like I'm kind of like twisted on the floor a little bit, sort of like almost a kung fu stance. And like I rise up and I've got the torch in my other hand, wielded like a blade. And yeah, I think that is how I've kind of turned the momentum back for now.
And I shuffled all of my cards. I pulled one at random. I've got your card in front of me. I'm not happy with you, but that's fine. That's the nature of that particular maneuver, which means that it is your move. It is Lizzie's move.
Didn't you say you start the next trick?
I do start the next one. You're right. Let me look at my options here. Oh, fuck me. Wow. Okay. Then I'm just gonna, in that case, I'm gonna throw down the card you just gave me, which is the 4 of hearts, which is nothing, and I lose the round, which is a brutal way to suffer this one.
I mean, in this, you have a slight advantage in that it's not a total loss because I'm responding with the high knee, and I think this one's just another like shotgun blast to your jaw.
And I think that this is a shotgun blast to my jaw. I respond by like cracking the torch over my knee and like throwing the pieces at you, and this is a lot of us like dodging environmental hazards as we demolish this laboratory.
Oh, is there definitely like a moment where we have to separate as like a flaming like pillar like falls between us?
100%.
Oh hell yeah.
The motif changes to diamonds, which is fire. The entire facility is collapsing around us. That is why we have to separate.
Yeah, exactly. And like, and all of the like graves are there's just flames crawling across the graves because you've knocked so much stuff over. It's turning this funeral, it's turning this graveyard into a crematorium.
Yeah. And I gotta throw I gotta throw the 6 of spades, which is still nothing and a loss. So what do you got?
I'm gonna respond with a jumping elbow.
This is great that we cannot match the motif here. That this is truly like our fight has escalated to a place that we cannot truly fight one another because the thing is crumbling around us.
Yeah, like we keep landing like single hits but can never follow up. Like you do the spinning elbow, it knocks me away, and you're about to knock me out, but crush! Oh, big thing falls between us. I respond with the leaping elbow, but then I have to once again back off before I can do the coup de grace because there's just a big whoosh of fire, and it's just we can't. Neither of us can get like a solid hit in.
That feels great. So we then come to our next motif, which is spades, which is shine. I think there is a moment of stillness. Like there is a moment, and we only have 2 cards left in this battle. There is a brief moment where we can take one another down. And so that is it. And I still have momentum here, so I am throwing the 8 of spades.
And I am throwing down yeah, not that its effect is gonna matter. I'm gonna play the Queen of Spades, a twisting kick.
Fuck. Okay, yeah. There is nothing I can do in the next hand that is going to win me. But what does this look like? What does this big dramatic hit look like?
So what was the card you played again?
I played the 8, which is an uppercut.
Okay, so I think what happens here is I think that through the shine where we both had this moment of stillness, and we're both kind of like, I've got my hands on my knees panting, but you're Adam Frankenstein. You don't have a vascular system to get overworked, and so you just like start storming over to me, and you full power knock me up into the air, but as I'm spinning in the air, there's like the slow motion like thing as I twist around, you catch my eyes and you realize that it was a feint just as my leg comes swinging into your head and a cannon roar, like just a full fucking massive shot goes off, and like I actually like some of your head goes flying off finally. Not the full head.
Say the head fully detaches like a cartoon, bounces around the stage, and then
in that case, then yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I take it back exactly. I knock your head right the fuck off with this blow.
All right, which means that we are still in the realm of spades, which means this is our final card, and I am throwing the king of clubs.
And I'm throwing the king of hearts, baby.
All right, which means, okay, which means, yeah, you have won. My flashback is standing in the way, is standing in the wastes as a boat flows away and says, like, I will curse your family for generations to come. May one of your descendants be brave enough to put me in the grave that you could never do, Father. And there is a moment as you bring the killing blow down on Frankenstein as this graveyard collapses around him, that he quietly just like whispers, "It is at peace, as all things should be."
And then
from dirt to dirt, from the grave to the grave.
And I think actually, you know what? If we're going in that, I think you're like uttering that as like Lizzie stepping over, and she like raises her leg for like the final axe kick, and then she pulls the blow as your eyes peacefully close, and I think she looks just kind of solemn for a second, grabs your head, like lifts it up, knocks off some of the soot, some of the buckshot, and yeah, she's just like, "It is at peace." And then I think she, like, drops your head in an open grave and walks away as, like, flaming debris fills it and finally puts your body at the rest that has long been denied.
This is a crucial thing, which is that you have won, but Lizzie is not in the tournament.
I didn't say she wasn't in the tournament. Sorry.
Got it.
My mentality is that she was in the tournament. She entered the tournament like everyone else for the money, and then found out you were in it as well.
Okay, then what I want to do is, I'm trying to decide, let me look at our time. I think we have time for 2 more battles.
Okay, that works for me.
I think we're going to go 2 more battles, because there's 2 characters that I specifically want to break out here.
That works for me, hell yeah.
Whether I win or lose, there are 2 characters that I want to unfurl here. Give me, where is our next match taking place?
So I'm going to say a cocktail bar.
I'm just going to say, following up on the lab being destroyed, I'm saying portal.
Sorry, a portal and a cocktail bar. This is an interesting combination.
A portal has erupted and is tearing this cocktail bar into the abyss.
Yeah, people falling up from like this big festival, just trying to chill in a cocktail bar, and suddenly it's like, "Becky, I don't know how to say this, but I have this ring, and I like sucked into an extra dimension."
Yep.
That's beautiful. I like that. What's the third element then, do we figure? Oh, actually, you know what? I have an idea. Or unless you have one already. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I think the other end of it is, the other side of the portal is ruins, and specifically like, but not like Aztec or like Egyptian or like human earthen ruins. I think it's some H.R. Geiger shit.
Yeah.
So I think that is, this opulent, beautiful cocktail bar has been split down the middle with a portal into like this horrifying like alien relic ruins.
That feels great. That feels good.
Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page.
That feels fantastic. I really like this. I know my fighter very specifically. It is a thing that I wanted to bring into this. It is a special thing that I wanted to do. Lizzie has arrived here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is, I think that we have veered full on into Tekken mode, where like the fights in the tournament are also just other stuff that's happening, where it's like, oh no, a tournament fight is breaking out.
Yeah. I think that's dead on.
And I think like standing before you is a spindly looking person, a human-esque figure, covered in big, bulky, like almost like fucking Jacob Marley chains, where they're these big, bulky prison chains, and they have specifically wrapped his head, and like there are bursts of energy unfolding that are being contained by this otherworldly metal chain. This is Chainface.
Huh.
Chainface is actually a character that a dear friend, Adam Vass, World Champ Game Code, created, and is a zine character that you can just put into other games and role-playing games, and is an other-dimensional being who is immensely powerful and contained by chains and is attempting to conjure otherworldly power, who just appears in other role-playing games. You can find more information at worldchampgamecode.com. The character is here to use other games. That just seemed like it was a good cameo to put into this, and so that's
Did he come through the portal?
I think he didn't come through the portal.
Okay.
I think he has arrived at the portal because this portal is the culmination of L Redbreaker's like master plan is to conjure the power of this portal, and he is going to steal that power. That is why he has entered this tournament.
And I like the idea also that the cocktail bar was already going to be the location, and L Redbreaker just chose not to change the location when the portal broke out.
Yep, 100%. All right, so I have drawn my 9 cards. Go ahead and draw yours, and then you are also going to discard and redraw 5 of these cards.
I will. Let me get these 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And let me go ahead and just stack them up, shuffle, and discard 5. Thrilling combat action.
I watched so many face cards get discarded when I did this last time. It was a moment of like, that's a lot of 4s coming back into my hand.
All right, 4. Phew!
All right, you dodged some bullets on that one. That was a lot of 2s and 3s.
No, I'm happy with that. Sorry. I thought I could drop them all into my hand all at once. Whoops.
I think if you click the number and drag, it'll pull all of them in your hand. All right, let's find out our motif. Our motif is diamonds. That is fire, which was appropriate on account of this bar is being demolished. And with that, you won last fight. You got the opening momentum.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna open with a. I think the way this fight opens is that Lizzie starts like kind of stretching on her toes and then seamlessly transitions into like just kind of tornado spinning at you, and then right up against your chain face, another one of her shotgun elbows.
And I am throwing the 9 of diamonds, which is the spinning back fist. I exchange a card with you. I think that you go for that. You go for that elbow, and like a blast of energy, like you are gripped by. I think that Chainface's animations here is that Chainface is kind of doing like Anita from Darkstalkers, where like he doesn't move, and there's just like walls of energy that move around, and you are grabbed by one of those and like smashed into the bar itself.
God, yeah, that's rough. So we're exchanging a card, right?
Yes,
right, dropping mine in front of you.
To drop down mine. Let me just give one quick look. All right, I've put mine down as well. Okay. Which means I take the trick, and we begin our next hand.
It means you lead.
I'm going to throw the Ace of Hearts. I'm going to lose the hand, but I'm going to redraw a card at the end of the trick.
And see, I think I'm going to respond to that. Oh, how am I going to respond to that? Got some options here. Okay, God, I really need to take a trick. I'm going to respond to that with an uppercut. And yeah, I think she kind of like dodges a few of those energy jabs from you while running in before like combat rolling into you and rising with an uppercut.
That feels great.
To send you flying.
And I'm going to discard and redraw a card. And I think that like you hit, the chains rattle, and like the electricity, the energy starts to like flare unpredictably. These chains are the things that are keeping Chainface in check and will obliterate things if they are broken.
I got you. People's glasses, because people are still drinking in here, they just start popping.
All right, you've got momentum. Draw.
And don't forget your ace. The effect.
Oh yeah,
ace.
I discarded and redrew, so I've got my new card. Our new motif is hearts, and that is
excellent.
heat.
And I think so. I won, so I'm gonna lead.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go with a spinning back fist, and I think as I start seeing like all like the glasses and decorations popping off, I think she just kind of rolls in and just starts like going back and forth, like hitting you with a good few backhands, and like derringers keep slipping out of her sleeves and just peppering the chains.
And I'm throwing the King of Hearts, the axe kick. I think that like in a brief moment, like two of these chains drop from my wrists, and I kind of do an Omega Red like energy whip thing, where like it's like a lot of like lashing and crashing down and smashing you with chains, and then they kind of like refurl around my arms.
That's brutal. Yeah, I think she's absolutely just drilled into the floor. Like I think the floorboards like crack under the impact, and she's just laid out for a second.
And we are gonna exchange cards.
Dropping mine in front of you.
Theirs is on the other side. Okay. We're still in hearts. We're still in heat. I'm gonna say that a different way. We're still in hearts. The motif is still heat. And I'm gonna throw down. I've got momentum, so I am throwing down the 6 of hearts. This is a spinning elbow.
Really wish you'd drawn any other card. Don't like this. God, what do I want to play in response to that?
And I think this is specifically like leading into the spinning aspect. This is basically a Psycho Crusher. I am just twirling in the air and flying at you like a drill.
I think I'm going to respond with a fellow spin, but a much less successful one.
All right. Which means that was the 6 of clubs, which means that yeah, I think you go for a spin, I just fly at you like a bullet and just sort of spear you through a wall into some of these HR Geiger
Oh, that's
ruins.
perfect. Yeah, I think I just don't time my spin out as well, and you catch me like right before mine would have connected and just sends me sailing.
And
yeah,
that
like that
is, we have now drawn the new motif. This is 8. This is a club. This is hope.
Mm-hmm.
We are standing in this space, and like there is hope that the portal can be contained. Like there's something like there is hope that we can contain this power. And I think that Chainface is like monologuing about that. Like if I could contain this power, if I could manage this, the multiverse would be at my disposal.
Do you think any of El Redbreakers do? If I can also suggest something along those lines, like back in the cocktail bar, El Redbreakers dudes have like finally started showing up in hazmat suits, like trying to set stuff up. And now that's adding like now the portals. Oh no, the portal's starting to act all wibbly wobbly. And I think but like we're just not even worried about that right now.
That feels good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got momentum, and I am throwing down the ace of clubs. I'm going to redraw a card after this hand.
I'm just going to respond with a haymaker. Yeah.
All right, you take it.
I think the way that this works is because Lizzie's starting to get desperate. Like she's realizing this is an opponent that's really starting to outclass her normal tricks, and so I think what happens is it looks like she's preparing for like some sort of sort of hidden attack. And then, like, she's drawing back for, like, something, and then she throws her, like, Columbo trench coat over Chainface before doing, like, a running Superman punch to bowl him over. Just,
love it.
Yeah, just dirty tactics at this point, because she's realizing she can't beat you clean.
Which means we stay in clubs. I have discarded and redrawn a card because I threw down an ace, and you have momentum to throw down the next card.
I'm going to throw a 10 of clubs.
And I am going to throw the 2 of hearts. I'm going to lose this hand, but we're going to draw a new motif, and I'm going to take momentum next hand.
Yep, you start the next trick. Yeah,
talk to me about how this goes down.
I think Chainface, like his energy things, can't aim with like his face. Even though his face is normally covered, this unexpected covering is a layer too much. Yeah. So I think Lizzie just like seizes it to like grab you by the sides of the head and just a brutal knee like up into Chainface's jaw. She is carrying that momentum forward, just sends him over and has just got him like trying to get him into a ground and pound.
That's great. And I think it works. It works like a charm. Like you have gotten just enough advantage. We draw a new motif. Our motif is diamonds. It is fire. And I am going to play a card here. and I'm going to throw the Jack of Diamonds. Jack is a jumping elbow. It means we are going to draw a new motif suite after this trick. I think that you are ground and pounding Chain Face when suddenly you punch and you just hit ground. And Chain Face is looming over you and is going to start throwing fireballs down onto the surface.
I don't even think it's that my fist connects around. I think it's that I throw that elbow as part of the ground and pound, and that's where it's just, dude, there's just suddenly it only meets the dirt, and I look up and that's when, you just annihilate me with your quote-unquote jumping elbow.
I think it is, to tie into the jumping elbow part, I think that it is I come down like a comet, like I conjure the like a ball of energy around me and just bring it down like a comet. There is an explosion, and Lizzie is battered, but like on your feet as we go to the next motif, which is shine. Mm-hmm. There is a horrible bright light in the sky as an alien sun beams out ahead of our above us.
Yeah, and Red Sun from Metal Gear Rising just starts playing.
And I am throwing the King of Spades.
This don't look good for me. I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna respond with a haymaker that changes into my I'm about to lose this match flashback. And I think we see like Lizzie growing as she's like draws back a fruitless haymaker. She just remembers like getting trained in the art of monster hunting by her father, Greg Frankenstein. Greg Frankenstein. Sure. Greg Frankenstein, yeah. And then like growing up into like just kind of having this life that just wasn't really full. Like it was just this really empty life, just going town to town trying to track down the monster that took out her family. And then like it catches up to the moment where like she finally took out Frankenstein. She's like, is there even anything worth doing anymore? Have I just all this time been chasing a ghost for nothing? Is this all my life had to be?
In your flashback, Chain Face appears behind you.
He's invaded my flashback. Oh no!
as we flash back into the present, like it blurs between the two as he mutters, "You were given a life of dissatisfaction that has led you to this moment. May you find somewhere in the multiverse that may bring you the peace that you seek." And he holds up one hand, and kind of like when Mega Man explodes and you see like the little flashing circle parts, Lizzie is split, is like scattered across the multiverse. Her consciousness is sent to find a universe where that life of monster hunting is not the case, where she can have happiness and peace.
Really dorky idea. There's one, and it doesn't even have to be canon. I think this is just a full-on joke. There's like one multiverse where it shoots her consciousness, and she like trips in a crosswalk, and someone's like, "Do you need some help?" And she reaches up, and it's like a yassified version of Adam Frankenstein.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And so, I'm going to ask you this. Do you want to play L Redbreaker in our final fight?
I will gladly play L Redbreaker in our final fight.
As Chainface attempts to steal the power of Enyo's comet, and L Redbreaker attempts to make real his final machinations in our boss battle.
Absolutely. And I'm not even going to draw anything. I know. First of all, I think we can recall and shuffle everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even need to draw because I think I know exactly. Oh, yes, I'm cleaning my player hands. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I was trying to put the card back in my hand.
Got it. We're all good.
Yeah, I think even the scene where this happens is you go up to like where L Redbreaker's office has been, where he's been looking from the top of his fortress. You kick in the door, and he's got the douchey villain thing where he's facing the other way. We just see the glow from his cigar, and he's like, Chainface, I expected you here earlier.
All things occur as they are meant to. This is merely the universe when I arrived, later than intended. There was business to deal with. And now, there is the business of the comet and its power, and the promise that you made to the tournament's winner.
You are right about one thing, Chainface. everything does happen as it should. And then I think he lets his cigar drop into his hand before crushing it to extinguish it.
Great.
And he rises from his chair as he tosses it to one side. He comes across the other side of his desk. He's like, and it will be as it should, that the power of Enyo's comet goes to me. That your multiverse is not your multiverse. It will be the multiverse of El Redbreaker.
So be it. Hands behind his back, like, quietly tilts his head. And we begin our final battle. I have drawn my 9 cards. I have discarded 5 of them as the winner of the final battle. Or the last battle.
Beautiful. And I'm actually getting mine. 7, 8, 9.
And our first motif is 9. Is hearts. That is heat. This is multiversal energy. Like, we see worlds, so we see multiple suns and planets spiraling in the background as the battle for the multiverse
and
has
I think
begun.
there's even like a literal glow of the comet as it starts to like reach the apex of its orbit near Earth.
Yeah.
And just like we can see it through. I think if this was a fighting stage, this would be from the side of the office opposite the windows, and through the windows we can see the glow of Enyo's comet. And also and it's causing all the other like scene transitions that like you were thinking of as well.
Yeah, that feels good. All right, I've got my first card down as the winner of the previous battle. I am throwing down the 5 of spades. I am losing this round, but we will exchange a card.
And I think in response, I'm going to play the 4 of spades.
Great. That is a draw.
How does your attack look?
I think it is markedly standing still, and there's just like lightning bolts crashing around. This is a very slow start to the battle.
And I think El Redbreaker, when it says a fast elbow, because that was mine, I think he is just literally like snapping his elbows up, just like countering all of your energy chains. Like, is this really all you've taught yourself since last we saw each other? Thought you've learned some new tricks.
The spider toys with the fly before it feasts. And I have placed the card in front of you, so we are exchanging cards because I threw down
that's where you
5.
exchange a card with the motif suite.
Oh, motif suite, right? Yes. Okay. Then I'm gonna slap down this. Do we want to say that because I'm exchanging this card, that counts as the changing motif?
The last time this happened, we did draw another motif after, since we both played. Yeah.
So then we are still in
We're
spades.
still in spades. Awesome.
All right.
And I think you've still got momentum.
I do, and I am going to. You know what? I'm gonna throw down the 5 of clubs here. I am going to again do more lightning bolts, more dancing and strategizing, in part because I want that ace.
And I'm going to respond with a 7 of clubs. I think as you continue, I'm just finally in response to your comment about the spider and the fly, he's just like, but whose web is it? And he just like flash steps across the stage and just nails into you and sends you like through the door back out of the office into like the lobby outside.
Great. I think then I'm going to take that ace of clubs. I'm going to put down the 3 of spades, and then we are also going to end. Oh no! Wait.
What?
Oh
What's
no!
wrong?
Wait. We don't draw a new one here because we're still in the same motif.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I didn't even realize. So wait.
All right.
Yeah. So now we're in spades, and I won that one. So
you won that one.
I get to go first. I am. I think I'm going to do a spinning back fist. And I think, I think this is that as he follows you in, he comes in, just like full energy as he's running, just spins as he's going, is bringing this big meaty paw right into your head.
And I am gonna take that elbow. I'm throwing down the ace of clubs. And I think that, is being markedly slow and intentional in his movements, right? Is doing a lot of allowing you to get hits in as Chainface positions himself for the final battle.
Also, we do exchange cards. My spinning back fist is exchange a card with your opponent.
We do.
Mm-hmm. So let me give you that, and I will take this.
All
Beautiful.
right.
All right. So I think this is also a new motif, right? Yeah.
It is. New motif is hearts. That is heat. We are feeling the energy crackling and things bursting as the fight continues to escalate. You have momentum.
Yeah, let me see what I got. I've really only got one to play here. Let me see what this is. So I know what my move looks like. Because I'm doing a jumping elbow.
I'm throwing a spinning back fist. You catch me mid spin as I attempt to like throw a wave of energy upon you. I attempt to like unfurl the chains and do like a spinning strike, and you catch me with
so
this.
I think what happens is that I do something that Chainface didn't think was possible, and I use 2 of your chain attacks as a springboard into the air, and I elbow drop us both through the floor, like one floor
great.
down.
That's great.
Come on! I thought you had more than this, and like I'm fucking like throwing you away from me. Like, come on!
We also exchange
Indeed
cards.
We do. Like, yeah, El Redbreaker is just as eating it up. He has never had a more fun in a fight right now.
And you threw the jack, which means we draw a new motif. It stays as hearts. You have momentum.
I really don't have much else. I'm just going to play a fast elbow.
And I am going to... Let me look at my cards here. I am going to counter that with a jab. I think you throw the elbow, and finally moving his hands out from behind his back, he grabs the elbow and shoves you backwards. This is a draw. These are both off suite. A new motif is drawn. We shift into diamonds, which is fire. And I think, like, as I push you backwards, I hold out both of my hands and cause, like, massive explosions throughout this, like, boiler room that we find
beautiful.
ourselves
And, like, and outside, like, the comet is still, like, getting closer and closer. All of the weird shit is just getting even weirder.
I've discarded and redrawn a card. You keep momentum.
I am going to... God, we've got so many of these. I'm sorry. Another spinning back fist. Yeah.
I am countering this with a high knee. I think that like now that you go in for this, strike, and like I force throw a chain around your neck. And then, like, pull you down and throw up a knee into your, like, crushing into
that's
your
really,
face.
I think this and, like, the last move, like, once you, like, El Redbreaker, like, some of the swagger has, not shifted into fear, but he is, like, genuinely surprised that now, like, the tides of battle have turned. Like, you threw him off with that elbow, and so now he's, like, coming in with a spinning lariat. But then, yeah, that's that brutal knee. Sort of knocks some of that confidence out. Like he does the thing where you send him to the other side, and he like sort of sits up, touches his lip, and like pulls away a speck of blood, and he's like, "Huh, I guess you have learned something then." Like wipes it away and stands back up, like ready to keep going.
All right, it is our next draw.
Mm-hmm.
We stay in diamonds. I've got my card. I'm throwing the 2 of diamonds. I'm going to take the next trick, even if I lose this.
And I'll... oh, wait, do we exchange cards?
Do we exchange? We do exchange
Yeah, I just realized
cards.
I don't know if we did. Sorry.
We did not.
Okay, I'm going to give you a thing. I wonder what I'm going to get.
All right, take your card is over here.
I was like, wait, what the hell is that one over there?
And I'm going to throw down the 2 of diamonds.
No! I'm playing the... I'm playing an uppercut.
All right. That gives me momentum. I keep we do draw a new motif. I think that now it is full on, like, I am using the chains in battle. I am throwing fireballs. Like, this is unleashing the full fury that Chainface is offering in this moment to crush El Redbreaker.
Oh, I think that's perfect. Yeah. And I think that's even the thing is like, yeah, you caught me as I come in. I'm trying just a bunch of like big heavy moves, just like dirty boxing, and it's just not even having an effect on you. And you catch me on an uppercut before sending me away again.
And like I For our next round, our motif is hearts. I am throwing the 7 of spades. This is a haymaker.
And I am responding as you come in for a haymaker. Let me see. Which one's going to be better? I am responding with the Jack of Clubs, which is a jumping elbow. We're going to draw a new motif afterward anyway, so...
we are, the comet is upon us. This is our final hand. I have a chance to tie this, depending on what this card draw is. It is hearts. Chain Face throws the Queen of Clubs.
And I respond, actually, I should, before I fully respond, I think it's like, El Redbreaker has a thing where it's like, his shirt is in tatters, you know, he looks rough and he sort of meets your eyes from across the arena. And he just, like, screams while tearing off his shirt, rushing at you for a final attack. And he also does a queen of spades, a twisting kick.
You bring this kick down. This is, again, a battle of attrition. You bring the kick down through, like, you kick Chain Face. Chain Face's chains shatter. He is blasted into a portal.
Really quick before we finish, can I say exactly how this
please.
looks? Because I've got another unique interpretation. I think how this looks is it looks like we're going for no, you're doing all your things. I jump into the air and I do like a twisting, diving drop kick at you, and that's like the impact that sends your chains shattering as I connect and just everything. We're we're transforming between like stages. Like at 1 per second, it is just rapid fire as the multiverse falls apart and Enyo's comet approaches, and that's where we meet. Like as you said, start blasting back into a portal, and then what?
You are standing alone. The fury of the portal is El Redbreakers to take, and I am gonna end this on a cliffhanger. In part because this game was written by Kayla Dice, who's been on the show before, and this feels like a fun cliffhanger. We see all of the power of Enyo's comet, and then standing in the doorway of the room that they're in as they start to ascend, is leaning on a fluorescent light tube, a little bit like a cane, wearing doctor's scrubs and a clown-themed luchador mask. A professional, a deathmatch wrestler leans on there. The great clown Pagliacci stares at you and says, that's a fun trick. You got time for one more match? Snaps their neck, and that is the cliffhanger that we undone, and that's game.
That's goddamn you, Jeff Stormer. I don't know why I expected anything different.
This game fucking rules.
That was good. That was really... I'll admit, didn't anticipate Enemies to Lovers Frankenstein fanfiction.
Didn't see that one coming? I feel very happy about it.
Yeah.
Thank you again for playing this with me. This was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. This was so much. I've been a fan of yours for a hot minute. It was super fun getting a chance to finally play with you.
I loved this. Real quick, before we wrap up, where can people find you and your work online?
Of course. My main place right now is on the burning hellscape that is Twitter. You can find me at 4 whole moons. That is, 4 is in the number spelled out, whole is in not half, and moons as in... I mentioned Moonshot, so hopefully you know what that is already. You can find me on there. I update sometimes about different projects I'm on, the different recordings I join in on. As I mentioned before, you can also find my website at www.theodoremonk.com. And yeah, you can find other places where I've done podcasts. You can find short stories I've gotten published. And as I mentioned, I am querying my first novel right now. And hilariously enough, it is a tournament arc novel. So hey, if on the off chance you've got any science fiction fantasy agents or editors listening, feel free to come give me a big kiss on the forehead and tell me it's going to be all right. And yeah, but no, that's where you can find me. It's what I'm working on. And yeah, like I said, super honored to be here. Hopefully meet each other on the field of battle again someday.
Perhaps such a day will come. Thank you again for doing the show. This was fantastic. And for now, I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show. Take a future me. Thanks, Past Me, and thanks again to Theo for coming on the show. This game fucked. This game truly captured all of the joy and chaos and mess and beauty that I look for out of role-playing games. I could not be more happy with this. Like, this fucking ruled. There's really no other way I can describe it than saying this game fucking ruled. So thank you so much for playing this with me. Be sure to check out all of Theo's work at theodoremonk.com. Be sure to check the show notes for links to Blood Rush, Psycho Dungeon, and everything else that Kayla Dice is working on. Again, one of my favorite designers in the world. And as long as Twitter's still a fucking thing, you can go follow Theo at 4 Whole Moons. Then while you're on Twitter, follow us at Party of One Pod. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Party of One Podcast. Find us on TikTok at Party of One Podcast. Find us on Tumblr at Party of One Pod. Subscribe to our newsletter at buttondown.email/Party of One Podcast. And join our Discord community at bit.ly/Party of One Discord. If you enjoy the show, there's a lot of ways to support it. You can support us financially at patreon.com/JeffStormer or Ko-fi.com/JeffStormer. You can give us a nice iTunes review, shout us out to a friend, give us some love on social media. You can buy some Party of One merch at bit.ly/Party of One merch. Or if you're looking for more great podcast content, you can check out All My Fantasy Children, which is a character creation, storytelling, and world-building podcast that I make with my best friend in the world, Aaron Catano-Saez. We take a listener-submitted prompt and spin it into an original fantasy character, populating a shared universe one story at a time. You can also check out Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast, which is an actual play about a heartless witch, a cozy house, and the many people making their homes inside. Both of those you can find wherever you get your podcasts. Party of One is, as always, produced and edited by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. Music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran featuring the D&D Sluggers, and the Party of One logo is by Evan Rowland. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates, coming on the show as a guest, or about press coverage of the show, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And unless I am mistaken, that is all we do here. So until next time, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance. And as always, party on, everybody.